Hey everyone, welcome to the Build My Life tutorial overview. This is just a real quick fast track to learning the song real fast. We're playing this track at 70 BPM. I'll actually set my click to 140 just so that my click is on eighth notes, and that basically syncs with my right hand. For me, it's a lot easier to play to a click when my right hand is following the click and not leaving much space for the band to drift. There's a lot of space in this song, so I just want to say, you know, as a drummer, sometimes you can be a little bit bored or sort of disinterested because there's nothing for you to do, but it's always good to have your worship leaders back in times of space. There's a long intro, and then there's a bit of space after the first chorus, or I should say the second chorus, before the bridge. And you want to keep an eye on your worship leader, because if you're from a church where there's a little bit more flow in the song arrangement, they may want to extend it. You may want to be careful how you build. You might want to just like follow the arrangement. So be sure to know your worship leader and where they want to go and watch for those cues. It's really a basic overview. You're going to bring in the whole song with cymbal swells. From the swells, you're just going to bring in a jungle tom groove or like a Caribbean tom groove. I'll play that for you real fast. Swelling in. And everything in the song kind of follows that basic pattern. Everything's in this laid back kind of groove, kind of nods to that syncopation. A lot of 4 on the floor until we open up the groove out of the bridge. But basically that's gonna be most of your verse 2 and chorus groove. I added a little bit of spice in the track, putting like cymbals on the downbeats, and I was making sure to like spread out the stereo field. If you're a drummer like me and you've got 1 ride and 2 crashes, it's really good if you have stereo overheads in your church to not just hit the same crash all the time, so that you give some color. So as you can see, it borrows from that same, you know, kind of vibe through the whole song, and you're just ramping it up with some flams on the snare. And then out of the bridge, you'll bring in a ride cymbal, and I kind of just prefer an organic style build in this song. And we'll break it down a little bit more in the tutorial, but this one, in just like a lot of builds, has about 3 or 4 stages. So the first stage is ride cymbal. The second stage is an off kick. So the kick isn't on the downbeat, it's on the offbeat, which is interesting and just kind of gives it a little bit of flavor. And then you go to a 4 on the floor kick, and then just a standard crescendo 8th note build going into the final chorus. And then out of that into a straight boom, chuck, boom, boom, chuck groove. So I'll just play that for you, and then we'll break it down. So. Basically your chorus groove. One of the first beats I learned, and it still works, man. It's like, keep it simple, keep it basic. I'm gonna break down some things in the tutorial that talk about kind of how to thematically build and thematically structure your fills so they all kind of nod to each other and feel like a musical theme. And we'll see you in the tutorial.